How did
And
how did you find out he was located on June 7th? And can you share about the moment your family got that call?
yes, I flew out of Kotzebue that day to go attend some, appointments at the hospital there and also for work because I travel for work. And the day that we heard the news was the day that I flew into Anchorage. And um, it was probably in the afternoon towards, reaching towards dinner time. My brother messaged me, who lives in Anchorage, asked me where I am. And I told him I was on my way to the store. And he specifically wanted to know. And my brother doesn't do that, when there's something wrong. And I knew immediately that, something was gonna, he was gonna give me some type of news, but I didn't know what to expect because we also have, a large family both in Kotzebue and in Kivalina, and there's always anything that could happen. What if it's another house fire? Because we've been having local building fires here lately, and anything. It could be anything. But then I think deep in my heart, I knew that that was the gonna be the call. That my brother was going to give me the news. So he refused to give me, the reason why he's looking for me. Um, so I just told him, okay, I'll meet you at the store. And so I went, got my groceries that I needed, and I see from the corner of my eye towards the left of me, my brother walking so fast towards me, and his face didn't look, he looked very sad. And my world just got quiet again. My stomach started, getting really anxious and nervous and scared. And so he comes to me, gives me a hug right off the bat, crying. And the first thing he says is, they found him.
And
And
can you say, I mean, do you feel like there was any relief or comfort that came with knowing that he was finally found, or?
yes, it was a big relief for all of us, especially for his brother who was out there with him and myself. Although it's a very sad news that we had to receive, and it's one that's almost unbearable, but at the same time, it's a relief, a sigh of relief. Like, we can finally quit wondering where he is. We can finally put him to rest. We can finally, not worry about the next search plan, because we're also, running low on funds. The search was called off by the state of Alaska after so many months. And so the volunteer search and rescue here in Kotzebue and the people that came from Norvik and Selwick, specifically Norvik, they came, they did some fundraising on their own and send a group of searchers here. It was all voluntary. It was all personal people, just doing their thing, the thing that they do when communities need to come together. They did it on their own time. They took time off work, raised money, came to help. And we appreciate them so much for that. That's why we love our community that we're from. When a family is in need, you know, we all just pull together without question. And that's exactly what they did for me and my family. I didn't even have to ask for it. It was already being done and processed, before I even had a chance to ask anybody about what is the next step. We live in a community that just comes together in that beautiful way. And that's a part of the community that my husband helped to, set foot ground on, to, be a role model for our sons, his nephews that he considers his sons, nieces, anybody that he knew was having a hard time. He would always offer encouragement, some scolding if needed, advice, talked about the land, and always, knowing your markers, knowing the locations, what they're called, because a lot of our locations here have any backwards. So he always encouraged everybody to know where they're at, the weather condition, the wind condition, the ice conditions, the everything, just everything you need to know about hunting. And So that was, like I said, it's been such a relief for all of us, especially my children, knowing that we finally can put their dad to rest.